The following is a special presentation of the Forest City London Music Awards.
Hello and welcome to the Forest City London Music Awards High School Battle of the Bands. My name is Jim Kelly. I'm from the Taz and Jim Show on FM 96. Usually we're hosting this bad boy every year live at the London Music Hall. For obvious reasons, we can't do that this year, but it's still going to be an incredible 2 nights here. We have 5 acts spread over the 2 nights, all from local high schools, and we have a special performance from London's youngest rapper. So much going on. We have an esteemed panel of judges hosted by my boy Scotty Ballert. We'll be checking in on them after every performance too. So you're actually an unofficial judge as well. If you want to comment below this video which band you came to see and which band you think you should win, we'll take that into account when we announce the winner as well. So without further ado, let's get into our first act. From HB Beale, it's Avenoir.
Stars are hanging on a breath. The weight of a galaxy is on my chest. It all seems so far away. Take me home to better days, a different place, a brighter star. Anywhere but where we are. Take me out to where forever stops. We are Avenoir. That song was called Weight of a Galaxy on My Chest. We would like to say thank you to the Forest City London Music Awards for allowing us to have an opportunity to play together again. This next song is called Land of a Paranoid Mind, and it's about the news. It's, I believe I referred to it as a rumination on how the news affects our everyday life and warps our perception of reality. Hi. Ready, gentlemen? Hit it? All right. You ready, Shake? Fasten your seatbelts, folks. This next song is called Swollen Teeth. It's about dishonesty. So numb, I don't know what to say. The truth hurts too much, and lies have become mine. Anesthesia so strong that the words have no feeling. It's real to me. But you make me lie when you speak. It's killing me. I know you lie through futility. The songs I sing and the songs that I play are the words that keep the numbness away. Can you feel when your teeth swell in your mouth filled with all of the lies you tell? Can you spit them out? 'Cause when you speak, it's killing me. I know you lie through swollen teeth. I have one question. Are you ready? Thank you. We were Avenoir.
Awesome job, Avenoir. And thank you for being the first band I've seen live in a year and a half. And I'm hoping when COVID ends, I can touch the singer's hair. Doesn't it look glorious? Let's see what our judges thought.
Thank you, Jim. I never get, how come we're getting one of those shirts, Jim? Yeah, it was a really nice shirt you had on. Anyway, I got to get one of those shirts. Again, I'm here live with the judges. I'm going to throw to Serena Haggerty, singer-songwriter from London, doing some great things, releasing some great music with Mo Berg of Pursuit of Happiness. Serena, how you doing, dear? Always nice to see you.
I'm good. Always good to see you, even off of Zoom.
Yep.
Good.
Avenoir,
Yeah,
what do you think?
it was sweet. I really enjoyed it. Even though I'm sitting here, I was very pumped up, and it's been a while since I've been to a live show. So a part of it is weird because I'm watching people rock out when we're in totally different rooms and places and times. But I love the aesthetic and just, of course, the band dynamics that you guys had. And I don't know, there's always so much to say, but I did like it how the first song, I felt that it was like chill. And then by the end of it, and
Right.
especially 2 songs later, there's so much like outgoing energy. And even though there was like 9 people in the room, I recently did a gig actually there. So there was like 8 people in the room, and I was singing and, to no one, trying to act like it was a nice big stage. Vocalize, I loved it. As a singer and songwriter, I love the passion and the vibrato that you put into your voice. And of course, the solo. I wish I could play better at instruments. So that really stood out for me. And by the time live music starts again, I'm really definitely looking forward to seeing you guys live. So I'll be in the front row.
I'm going to throw right now to Jack, bass player of the Trues.
Yeah, I was super impressed. Like, they're serious players, and I love how they have all their favorite bands on the, like, each guy had a different name on his shirt, so I knew like where all their influences are coming from. There's Sabbath, Metallica, Megadeth,
Yeah.
AC/DC. I couldn't see the bass player's shirt, but he's a super cool guy and great bass player too. Like they were really impressive, and
Right.
and I liked how the band is just like playing the music, and I can tell that singer wants to leap into the crowd, but he's holding back. He's a young man, like can't help but think about how young they are, and I was once that young too, and I remember what it was like getting advice from people that have been doing it longer, and you only want to hear certain things. So like I just want to encourage them to keep playing, and they already got a lot going on. It's like very cool.
And they own the stage. They own it. They got they're doing it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
up on a beautiful stage.
Very big presence, and I was really impressed with the whole thing. It was cool. And another thing that I thought about too, and I don't know if they want to hear comparisons, but the first song reminded me a little bit of Incesticide's Nirvana kind of metal, and the last song reminded me of Metallica, like early Metallica.
Anyone who wins tonight, the number 1 place, they get to be on FM 96.2, and that comes up a little bit later on. We're going to talk about that because everybody tonight, all the bands get recording time, and first place and second place, of course, they get the EMAC situation there with mastering by our good friends over there, and the FM 96 play for the number 1 slot too. So there's lots of cool things that's going to happen, and I'm not going to babble too much. I'm going to give it back to Jim. Thank you, Jack, and of course, thank you, Serena. And back to Jim right now. We're going to listen up to the next band.
All right, thank you, judges, for your input on Avenoir's set. Up next, Full Throttle from A.B. Lucas.
Hi, we're Full Throttle. We'd just like to thank the Forest City London Music Awards for having us today at the High School Battle of the Bands. This one's Lockdown.
Stuck at home all alone, I don't know what to do now. I feel like shit, I wanna quit, I wanna see my girl now. I've gained 10 pounds, I'm hearing sounds inside my head now. Stuck at home all alone, don't know what to do. Locked in, 6 feet apart, locked in, 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now. Locked in, 6 feet apart, locked in, I got 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now. I've watched 3 shows, goddamn this blows, just wanna watch hockey. Nothing to do, nothing to see, nothing to eat, nowhere to go. I wanna go outside to see the world, my wide open eyes. Wanna go downtown, wanna walk around, wanna, locked in, 6 feet apart, locked in, I got 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now. Locked in, 6 feet apart, locked in, I got 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now. Locked in, 6 feet up, locked in, I got 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now. Locked in, 6 feet up, locked in, I got 6 feet under, locked in, don't know what to do now.
This one's Punk Rock Kid.
Can't see my walls while the posters and guitars. I'm in a rockin' band, I just know we're gonna go far. My record collection spans from Slipknot to the Cars. But I'm like lady spray, they just all rappers. Face cut, I'm a badass, better than you. I'm not asking for much, so get me in touch with the lingo and the style. All these dumbass dicks seem to get over chicks, but I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. No, I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. I'm thinking, screw it, man, I don't have a shot. I'm just so cool, something that they're not. Got the mohawk painted green, I got 2 new rips in my favorite jeans. I can put on some VOA, head bang on my coffee way. I'm a badass, better than you. I'm not asking for much, so get me in touch with the lingo and the style. These dumbass dicks, so get them chicks, but I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. No, I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. I'm a badass, better than you. I'm not asking for much, so get me in touch with the lingo and the style. All these dumbass dicks seem to get them chicks, but I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. No, I'll never, ever change. I'm a punk rock kid. I'm a punk rock kid. I'm a punk rock kid.
punk rock kid. I'm a punk rock kid. We got one more for you. This one's Black T-shirt. Not a phase. Not satanic either. Skulls are just cool, okay? Go listen to Toto or something. Why can't I do what I want to? Why can't I listen to what I want to? Why can't I wear a black t-shirt? Just going to a party. I'm not gonna get abducted. I'm not gonna do drugs. I'll be home by dinner tomorrow. Why can't I do what I want to do? Why can't I listen to what I want to? Why can't I wear a black t-shirt? Thank you, Forest City Music London. Where the fuck it's called. We're full throttle. It's been a great day. Why can't I do what I want to? Why can't I listen to what I want to? Why can't I wear a black t-shirt? Why can't I do what I want to? Why can't I listen to what I want to? Why can't I wear a black t-shirt? Yeah!
There we go. Full Throttle. A band full of guys too young to have a driver's license called Full Throttle. I love it. And shout out to A.B. Lucas, home of one of the great Canadian 90s bands, the Gandharvas. And hopefully we'll be hearing a lot more from Full Throttle in the future. What do the judges think, though? Judges?
Thank you, Jim Kelly from FM 96. I love this shirt, man. I love this shirt. We watched Full Throttle. I mean, I know everybody really wants to say something right now, but I'm going to introduce the judges as we go through throughout the whole 2 nights. This is I'm going to throw this to Luke Bentham from Dirty Nil. What do you think of Full Throttle, my friend?
Well, it's just fantastic to see a nice, proper, rude and loud rock and roll band. And I don't know how old you guys are, but I'd estimate, obviously you're in high school. No, I can't tell you how happy I was watching you guys play. And reminds me, as I said, I was thinking earlier, of being in my mom's basement wearing braces with my Marshall stack. And having my mom pull the breaker because we weren't very good, but you guys are good. And I think, now's a really good time to stay really focused, and you guys could be great one day. So just keep working at it. I really enjoyed your performance, and hail rock and roll.
I'm going to go to one more judge on this one too here. We're going to keep things rolling though, but I do have Mr. the Legend. I'm going to call you Legend because you are a London Music Hall of Famer. Mr. Graham Lear is with us and joining us. Graham from Santana, Paul Anka, I don't even know. And the number one thing is right now you're doing the Graham Lear Trio, which I love, the jazz band. So I'm gonna stop talking about you, but I want you to say something about Full Throttle because I know you enjoyed that.
Well, I did very much. Thanks for saying. And yeah, I wrote down the songs and I went, okay, so interesting to see a trio, an aggressive trio at that age doing that kind of stuff. And some of their things really reminded me of, going back to the days of the Clash, and I remember when I was in Santana, we toured, our manager was Bill Graham, the famous Bill Graham from the Fillmore East and West. And he was a big Clash fan. I started thinking about that. I went, there's a couple of riffs in there that go, yeah, I like that. There was something about, I mentioned the Clash just because they're such a classic version of what that is, and maybe Green Day is a more modern version of it, and you know they have the same configuration. But I really like what they're doing. I like their individual musicianship. I like the drummer a lot. I like all of them. I like the guitar solo. I like his sound. I made a note here so much that the second song, Punk Rock Kid, which I thought was a great introduction on the guitar, and it reminds me of the Beatles' Revolution. Is anybody old enough to remember Revolution? But you know, made that is a classic guitar sound, and he got really close. I don't think he didn't even intend to, or maybe he listened to it. If he did listen to it and was influenced by it, congratulations, he really got near that sound. And but it's not just the sound; it's just a feeling that it creates. You know, when you hear that, and that grabs you. And that song grabbed me, and a lot of what they were doing. I like the lyrics in Black T-shirt.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great teenage angst song. I even wrote down one line, "Be home by dinner tomorrow."
That was a good line.
I like that. That reminded me of myself at that age. And we're going back a ways there, obviously.
Nice. Keep the music coming, Jim. Back to you.
Thank you, judges. Great act so far this evening. We have one final one for tonight. Give it up to Custy from Mother Teresa.
Hello, I go by the name of Custy. I'm going to perform a few songs for you today. First off, I'd like to thank the FCLMAs and the PA Shop for putting this event on, and Scotty Ballert for always putting on the High School Battle of the Bands every year. It's a great opportunity. So without further ado, this first song is called Little Island.
She said she came from a little island that wasn't worth the trip. She hailed from that island, that small, small island. Father, Father, now all these issues in their mouth. I was running from your doubt that this wouldn't last a long while, but I'll love you for a long time.
This song is called I Found Jewels.
Place, I know what's in the car. I see the eye drops in the bag. I tell you don't worry, it's because this is my fight too. Since they got us confused, they tell us apart by the size of our shoes. It didn't really matter what you say you do. You had a good heart that almost abused. I know decisions are hard to make. I know there was a point where you felt you needed everything they tried to sell. You're strong, but you never had the time to tell. You almost choked up when you tried to tell that nothing was going to help. It's been raining on all my jewels. I hope they find some time. It's been raining on all my jewels. I hope they find some time. $300 a week, and you grow a bit quicker than me. Now you're playing for the other team. What happened to us versus everything? You pay your way around this city where the clocks don't work and they downplay your worth, and they only talk about what you couldn't be. All my jewels are rained on. All my jewels are rained on. All my jewels are rained. All my jewels are rained on. All my jewels are rained on. All my jewels are rained. Oh, I know decisions tried to sell. You're strong, but you never had the time to tell. You almost choked up when you tried to tell that nothing was going to. It's been raining on all my jewels. Yeah, I hope they find some time. It's been raining on all my jewels.
Thank you. This next song is called Jamie Ashland.
When you meet someone who takes the fork out your road, promise me you'll use your heart, not your code. Don't drink till you can't tell your eyes from your nose, 'cause picking up the phone's hard enough on its own. Now you're everything you wanted to be, so it's time to start a family. She might be a little unwise to think you're ever gonna get your head out the sink. You never let the water rise above my chin. And I never even let the water near your skin. Jamie Ashton, why do you talk like that? Why do you act like your world's about to crash when you know it's not bad? And only age will change the shape of your face, rubbing on that skin like it's meant to erase. You had the same smile that kept your mother in place, and she's the one that's gonna keep you running this race. She noticed me across the river one day. I skipped a stone to where she stood. Love's a solution thinner than blood, but it solves some problems if you're willing to trust. And it lives with every heart that was once piled dust. You never let the water rise above my chin. And I never even let the water near your skin. You never let the water rise above my chin. And I never even let the water near your skin.
Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Custy. Shout out to the FCLMAs and the PA shop for putting this on. It's great to be back on a stage. Let's hope next year this event can take place in person. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Custy. And now let's see what the judges are saying.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Jim. And thanks, Custy. Wow. Singer-songwriter, guys. I mean, really, typically, it's so amazing to see that they just do that on their own. He's got a little thing going on. He's got his own thing going on, which is fantastic to see. Great kid, man. He's a great kid, that guy. Yeah, I'm going to throw over to Eric from the Watershed, which technically the first prize this evening and tomorrow night, sorry, is all based off of the Watershed recording studio here in London too. Nice to see you, Eric.
Custy, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was pleasantly surprised. The moment he started playing, he seemed to set up a nice atmosphere for himself. He was really comfortable with his with keys and just being on stage. His intro song, I think, was only like maybe 20 seconds. It really gave you a little nice lead into what he's about to bring you. And he has his way about him. He's really into the music. He's closing his eyes, he's feeling it, but without closing off the audience. So I kind of felt connected to it, and I was really captivated at what he's going to bring next. The tone feels real, organic, the music. It felt genuine to me, like from the heart. And what was interesting is when you listen to the lyrics, they're pretty simple. Like, he's not trying to be overly poetic, but they still hit home. And I loved that. It's the beauty and simplicity. So he really nailed that. And also the biggest thing I took away was it's just him and keys and maybe some ambience. And he managed to create this full, lush sound. Over the length of his set, the songs, the music is relatively simple. He's not trying to overreach and do anything too crazy. And yet they still seem to move forward. I wasn't bored. I didn't have this feeling of repetition.
But Anne Monez up there. Thank you for joining us, dear.
I actually really enjoyed his set. I definitely agree with Eric that you never got bored throughout the set. There was always something that was sort of pulling you along. But I agree too that there is extra in there. I actually found this with all of with the acts that we've heard, is that it's in there, but it's like with the youth, you've got to break out of that shell. And that only comes with time, right? But there's so much promise in it, and it's really exciting. It was it's really great to see these guys. In terms of lyrics, his lyrics are rich in metaphor. They're very original. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Anne. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Serena, I'm going to throw to you because I know you wanted to make a comment about this. So about this performance. So, and as a singer-songwriter, I think it's important too.
Yeah, basically like what Anne and Eric said, like it's so true. Like it was so like captivating. I think Eric used that word. And the lyrics are like amazing. I'm a big fan. You just have a really like raw and true voice and lyrics. So yeah. Awesome.
So we're done our first night of listening to all the bands, all three bands. Fantastic night. The judges have got a lot of work to do to think about where this is going to go. But again, all the bands tonight, they do win recording time. That's the most important thing. Obviously, the first band wins 2 songs with Mr. Eric Altamonte and at the Watershed, and of course gets his song on, or their song or her song or their song on FM 96 or Country 104, depending on where they fall in that line. Thank you to Chorus Entertainment for that. Thank you, Jim Kelly, over there looking fantastic with that shirt on. I'm going to keep bugging you about that shirt because I want one of those shirts at Taz and Jim in the morning on FM 96. And I'm Scotty, and thank you. Everybody tune in tomorrow night. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, judges, and thank you, Custy, and thank you for all of our performers this evening. Avanoir, great job, awesome job, full throttle. Really looking forward to tomorrow night, which is our final night, featuring Bella Rose and Michaela, and of course, London's youngest rapper, CDMN is what he goes by. Thank you for joining us tonight. Again, make sure you comment below whose performance did you enjoy the most this evening, and I'd also like to take time to thank our lovely sponsors for making this whole event possible. FM 96, Country 104, Libro Credit Union, Watershed, EMAC, Sugar Shack, and of course, Digital Creative Arts Center. Thank you so much for being on board this evening. And tomorrow night, I'll be back with their 3 other acts and more fun. We'll see you tomorrow.